Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Davis, and you are watching Conversations in Pop Culture. And yes, I am scandalous like an Ashley. And I do want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by my good friends over at Pocket Jack Comics. They have Guinevere and the Divinity Factory right now in comic shops. Came out April, May. It was in previews. So either go bother your local comic shop to see if they got it, see if they could order it, or if they can't, go find another shop to go get it from because it's a great book. It's a sexy book, definitely female empowerment. There's also Palace of the Golden Princess, which is awesome. There's some stuff in there that's really cool too that I thoroughly enjoy. That if you like strong females, check that out. As well as Pocket Jack Comics does have a Whatnot channel. The descriptions in for that channel's in the description down below. And if you are a new user to Whatnot, you can sign up and get a $15 credit, as well as you could use coupon code Andrew for an additional 15% off some sexy comic artwork. But enough about that, because I have with me Evie Akashiya. And hopefully I got your name right. If I didn't get it right, just tell me to fuck off and correct
No,
me.
that was perfect. That was perfect. You did a great job. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. Obviously, you are the third in the group, but the fourth VTuber model that I've interviewed. And I'm being very vague for a reason. But the reason I'm being vague is that I do want to allow you to introduce yourself because you are in a unique space, to say the least. And some people know you, some people don't know you, and some people are going to plead the fifth saying they know you.
Well, of course, I'm Evie Akashiya. Well, I used to go by Eve, and you know the story between Adam and Eve. I was tempted by the serpent, and I got us both into trouble. Yeah, I'm kind of a rebel, So yeah, your favorite temptress. Definitely not a succubus, though. I don't know exactly what my powers are just yet, but I feel it dwelling deep inside me. So, well, you have to find out.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about you because obviously you are a model. I think
Mhm,
that you are on the internet. I'm gonna say it the nicest way I can say it. I think you are a cam model. I think it is the appropriate term. Hopefully,
mhm.
yeah, I'm not getting into too much trouble. And then I think you're obviously connected to some other places, and then you might be doing some other things with customs, and obviously you have a long history. So yeah, like, how did all that come about? Because I'm being vague for a reason because I don't know exactly how to describe you. It's weird, right? It's hard.
No, I totally get it. Let's see. Well, I am personally strictly with Streamate. I don't really go stream anywhere else but there. Um, well, honestly, it was just an opportunity that was presented in front of me, and I'm a big anime fan already, so I was like, "Well, of course I'll take it. Oh my goodness, something new, something to like introduce new things to people and try out, like even myself." And so like it was just a great opportunity, and I took it, and it's been fun, honestly, learning about it, meeting new people, finding out new things about myself, and yeah.
Let's actually talk about this because obviously
Mhm,
you came in with Sasha and
mhm.
Lilith Fujimoto. And what was that like? Because I think Sasha paved the path forward. And when I saw Sasha, I'm like, what the hell is this? Was my first reaction because I've never seen anything like that on Streamate. And then same thing with Lilith as well. And then obviously you. And how did even this opportunity come across to you? Because the concept of VTubers is not new. The concept of
Mhm.
camming VTubers, for lack of a better word, is also not new, but not at this, I guess, high fiduciary level and high, res gloves and all that stuff. And so, what is that like? Because I don't think there's been anything like the three of you since you dropped in years.
Mm, so like, what would be the question? Sorry.
So, like, how did this even come into like your lap per se, and how did you
Okay,
even get
so
involved? Because it's kind
so
of a brand new concept, right?
no, of course. So my meat suit or voice box or whatever you want to call her name, she streamed did camming for a while as well. So she already had like a background in this kind of environment. So she kind of also had the opportunity presented to her, especially with already having a big history. And yeah, and I kind of just got tied into with Lilith and with Sasha and just kind of fit in with the group. Sorry, my little hand fell off for a second there. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, just yeah. Sorry, first interview ever. A little
It's
nervous.
so cute, just so cute, just so cute. So I could say that. I mean, I could say a lot of other things too.
Oh
Did you know the song by Quiet Riot, "Come Feel the Noise"?
no, no, I have never heard of it.
Oh, it's a great song. There's a line in there. You know that I have a dirty mind. So I could go there too. Is all I'm gonna say. Because
We
my
could
mind
go
is
there.
dirty and dark, and it can be very promiscuous on its own.
I'm listening.
I would like to remain on YouTube still, everybody. I'd like to
No,
remain on
agree.
YouTube. But
Let's stay with the guidelines.
let's actually talk about Stream8 because
Mhm,
you're primarily on Stream8. I think when anybody sees your thumbnail on Stream8 and Lilith and even Sasha Nakamoto's thumbnail, it's kind of like, what is this? And what is that even like to be on Stream8 with something that is completely different and outside the box from anything else that's on there, minus Lilith or Sasha? Because
no. It was a little nerve-wracking at first. I mean, with already Sasha and Lilith being on, I was like, okay, I have to make a great impression. I have steps to follow into, and but also of course, you'll get the people that'll come in and be like, WTF, or like, this is so cool. So it ranges from like total acceptance to like, you should not even exist. So,
let's actually break that down a little bit. And sorry to
mhm,
interrupt, but obviously you're not the first one here. I think Sasha was the first, and then I
mhm.
think you and Lilith came in relatively close together. But what was that like? Because once you have another one on you, and you're also following behind the trailblazer, there is a certain standard I would think that has to be met, and there's a certain order of operations to some degree. And so, what is that like? Because what I think Sasha did on Stream8 is she kind of paved the path forward, and I think you want to carry and maintain those standards that she presented, and that could be a blessing or it could be a curse in some ways. So what is that like for you? Because now you're killing it, but also you have to kind of the standards have been set. If that makes any sense.
No, no, I totally get you. Like you said, there were steps to follow in, but it was also to like branch out and find my own personal like self. It was like a guideline that Sasha and Lilith like kind of like set out for me, and I was like, okay, this is something that I could do, but then I also want to branch out and give some new things to other people. Not follow exactly every single thing that they do. Of course, my personality would be a little bit different between the both of them, or maybe a little split between the two, I guess I could say. So it was great because I knew like a little guideline of what I was going into, but also to like what else I could do, what new things I could bring, what new things I could say, and something like that.
Did you also feel, because this is how I feel, and I'm just I have no knowledge about this. That's my defense. Um, is that I think people want different varieties. It's kind of like
Mhm.
you go in the cereal aisle, and this is probably a bad idea the way I'm going to describe it, but I go into the cereal aisle of my Target. They have Reese's Pieces cereal, and they have Cheerios, and depending on my day, or Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loops. Sometimes I don't want to have Reese's Pieces that day. I want some Fruit Loops. And so I think that's also very interesting right now, too, is that you look different than Lilith. You look different than Sasha. You have a
Mhm.
different personality than those two, women and creatures, for lack of a better word. I don't know what they are. I'm an equal offender. But
Uh,
what is that like? Because somebody might say, "Look, I'm not necessarily wanting a succubus, or I don't want
mhm.
that. But I like this, and I like what I like, right?" And
Right.
people want, I hate to say this, but people want what they want. I don't know how to in
No,
everything
I totally get it. I get what you're saying. um, let's see.
because you're filling that niche, right? Because you're already
No,
niche
exactly.
but then it gets even further into a sub niche.
Hmm.
Is what I'm looking for to describe it.
Yeah, no, like you said, like I'm completely different from them too. I give like more the athletic, sportsy kind, short hair. I feel like I'm totally different from them in a way, and my personality wise.
You
So
little
like
busty
you said,
Tom girl. That you little busty
exactly.
Tom girl.
I am. I really am. I could be a little girly, but I like to get a little dirty too. I just have a lot more fun that way. What can I say? But like you said, I am feeling in a different niche. So like people be like, "So I heard you're not a succubus, and that's totally fine. I'm also into this. I love short hair girls, and stuff like that." So I do bring in sometimes a different audience of, I'm a different flavor, and people are like, "Oh, I choose you." Like a Pokemon ball, they're taking me. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
See, it's so interesting, right? Because again, I'm in the world and that I like variety. I like variety for a lot of reasons. Just variety is nice, choices are nice, and I like what I like, but I also want the ability to do different things and taste different things and have different things. And I think it's really important because I don't know if you have a loyal following or if they like you, but they also like Lilith too. And I don't know the
Hmm.
breakdown of that, but my experience is that, and I'm just gonna speculate, is that usually people who enjoy porn stars, they have a favorite, but they're not opposed to somebody else either. And that's usually
Exactly.
my experience, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm just going off of logic. I have no experience. That is my defense.
No, no, you're right. I guess sometimes how me and Lilith are compared, like I'm the good one, she's the bad one, and I'm not sure if she does get mixes of like my type of people that come in my chat, but I sure do get some of hers. So like some people be like, "Oh, I want the nicer version," or just a little bit more softer because she gets down. She gets down. My rival, she gets down. I'll tell you that much. But so and we do get a little compared like that. And so, like you said, one will favor this one, but won't mind somebody else on the other hand, depending on the day, depending on their mood.
But to go even further into that though, because obviously Sasha was alone for a very long time
Hmm.
on Stream 8, and then Lilith came, and then I think you came. And I think there is something to be said though that there is just not one. Because and it goes back to I think what we were speaking about a few minutes ago, where people are like, "What the fuck's this?" And then they're like, "You don't deserve to be on here." But if there's two, three, four of you, it's harder to bully somebody or even attack them. I mean, you can still do it, but it's harder. But if there's one, it's easier to scapegoat it, and it's easier
No.
to, for lack of a better word, unionize against it. And since there's two of you, I would imagine that this is going to be a bad joke, but safety in numbers to some degree. Um,
No, I get it.
the end of that joke is good. That the end of that joke is good, but that will definitely get me kicked off YouTube for sure.
Let's play it safe. Oh. Mm, 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 mm.
But I do want to talk about the other thing too, which is what I was leading into, is this idea that what is that reaction though on Stream It outside of developing your personality and your following, where I don't know how other models or even the interactions or even fans react because obviously I asked Sasha this and I asked Lilith this question too, is that I think this is fucking awesome, right? And I think it's fascinating to have a VTuber real engine cam girl on there, for lack of a better word. But and I think it fills a niche. I think people are starved for anime, but I could also see it from a Cam girl's perspective, she's like, what the fuck? This thing's stealing all my traffic and all my money. And I can imagine their reaction would be, you don't deserve to be on here. And so what is that like to deal with that too? Because you probably dealt with, this is awesome. And this is, I hope you burn in a fire and die. Like,
Well, I haven't got anything to that extent. Cross my fingers. I really haven't gotten too much negative or positive comments on it. I've gotten some models are like will like follow me, or like my post or something like that. I won't get straight out comments of like, "Oh my gosh, you're awesome," but I'll see that little support, like, "Okay, they're cool with me." And then on the other end, like if per se, like, oh, for a great example, like during a contest one time, I was checking like the person in front of me, clicked in there real quick, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, did you realize that anime girl, she's in front of you? Like, we cannot just let this happen." And then, so like they were just talking like mad crap about me in there. So like some will like, "Oh, this is cool." Other people like, "Nope, get her out of here. Get her out of here." So it's
So
either positive or negative. Go ahead.
let me ask you this though, because I don't know how cutthroat stream it is with contests.
Hmm.
Where this is something that all jokes aside, I have no idea if girls want to kill each other during those contests, or if it depends on the model, because it could very well be that it's not even personal against you. It's that
Hmm.
she just doesn't want the competition, and that if you were, you know, just a regular meat flesh cam girl. This is terrible. This is terrible. This could be so bad. That they would still talk shit about you, to some degree. So like, or do you think it's actually more the fact that you are something new that is relatively in beta testing?
Um, I I feel like it's both. Like if it was a meat suit or me, because some women can be like super competitive. Like you said, regardless if it's like me per se or just they want to place high in the contest. So it really depends. You could get from both sides, whether it's me or a meat suit. Honestly.
Fair enough. And which again, I don't know because I'm not in this space at all. I get that people want to win contests because you get a bonus, right?
No, yeah. Hmm.
And also if people are spending more money in your room, that you also get that out of it too, and you get your percentages go up. I mean that's just the basic economics, but we don't have to get too much into that. Um, it's presumed, everybody. It's presumed. Um, but now I think it's interesting because again, I think you're filling that niche because people want good anime, they want good hentai, and they've been starved for generations, for generations. On
Hmm.
this. I mean, I don't know what the last good hentai you watched, but it was Black Bible. That's like the last good one for me. And is that before your time? Is that before your time? Because I'm 31 and I know that.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of that. I guess the closest one for me, and I think it would be considered maybe, I don't know, some soft hentai. What I'm currently watching is DXD. So, like, I would consider that pretty good, but it's not full on hentai by any means. But I feel like
Rin,
they're at that threshold. But that would be for my time. I don't know about yours.
Rin's or Momosuke or Monosko, whatever that is, that is a softcore porn anime.
Oh, really? I haven't heard of that one either.
So I had one of the leads, voice actor on, and at the time Funimation was doing tours, so you could like kind of sneak by and catch what's going on in the booth if you go on a tour with Funimation. And they put up signs saying "Do not come in." They had to put up signs saying "Do not come in to this room, please, if you're on a tour."
X-rated.
It's a pretty intense anime. It's pretty gory and it's pretty pornographic, and
Oh my
it's
goodness.
great. It's great, but it's not a hentai. It's like the comic Faust. That's exactly what it is. And it's amazing. Um,
Oh my goodness.
Faust Fost is something else. If you are hearing Fost and you've never read Fost, take a few deep breaths, reconsider how squirmish you are, reconsider how much you love art, and then flip a coin and hope that the coin toss is doing you a solid.
Interesting.
It would go one way or the other.
That's all food for thought.
It would go one way or the other. But I digress here. But I do actually want to talk about a lot of what you do on StreamMate, though, because that's the other thing that I love about the three of you.
A lot of what?
What you do on StreamMate.
Oh, what I do on StreamMate?
You do a lot of cool shit on StreamMate. I mean, a lot of cool shit. So
I do. Oh yeah, no, it's awesome to be able to explore. Go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously, I think it's relatively safe to say that really anything can be done with you on StreamMate. And what is that like? Because I think that is something that is really, really interesting about when you go into the virtual world, for lack of a better word, about what can be done, where I think certain things can happen. I think your eyes can light up, right? I think your eyes could.
I could change the color of my eyes. I have like, I mean, I guess I could like show you my little. Like I said, I don't know exactly what I am yet, but I feel it brewing deep down inside me. But so stuff like that, like heart eyes. But I can't make my eyes glow.
So but that's what's really interesting, right? Is that you could change the color of your eyes, where you could go from green to like black to blue to brown, whatever you want it to be, and that can be, a really cool thing, because obviously if somebody wants something, it can be done in that regard. And then furthermore, you could do other things too, where obviously your clothes can come flying off and then flying back on.
Well, mine in particularly, they singe off, like it's a whole fire. It's like, yeah.
So what is that like too? Because obviously it kind of just like burns off. Like
Yeah, it's like a cloud of like dust and fire, and then boom, the goods.
So let's break this down, because now I'm really curious, because so this is my question, is that what is that like for you? Because when somebody obviously on StreamMate tips you and says, I want a flash, and then it burns off, it's like a production, right?
I guess you could say that, yeah.
So what is that like? Because that's kind of cool, right? It's almost like a presentation, for lack of a better word here. And like, to me, that's just fascinating, because now it's like I'm not just getting a flash. I'm like getting like her clothes are burning off and presenting. Ta-da!
Exactly. You get it. No, but usually what the guys call it, they're like, it's magic. Like they like to compare me to a genie most of the time, and it's just straight magic. So I'm like, all right, we could make some magic happen.
And then is it magical that it just comes right back as if nothing happened?
Yeah, it's kind of like more fire, and it's like an undo kind of spell. Like, oh, it's like a reverse, and boom, presto, back where it belongs.
If this was a rated X podcast, oh my god, the amount of things that we would do.
Just like the thoughts are turning.
I have a dirty mind. What can I say?
Likewise. I think I know where you're going with this.
And then to go even further, because I think there's some other stuff you can do too. I think you can change your breast size, for lack of a better word.
Exactly. Right on the dot. Right on the nail. Yes, I can.
So what is that like? Because you could grow them, shrink them, make them whatever size you want to make them, and then
Well, I can't shrink them just yet. I'm only enlargement. But to the people that ask for it, they'll be like, so can you do expansion? I'm like, oh yeah, of course I can. And then the guys that are in there that see that, they're like, come again? What? Did that just happen? And I'm like, oh, you didn't know? Ta-da! So,
So, so, so,
yeah.
so to go into that a little bit as well, because what is that like? Because obviously every guy has a preference. Every guy
Hmm.
has an idea. Some guys like a certain size and some like another size, and you know, because I'm actually a strong believer in full customization. I've been saying it for a very long time, with
Hmm.
media in particular, but I don't think it just applies with media. Is that the things that are going to dictate are when you could watch content, big libraries, and customization of that content. So if I want to take you for an exclusive and I want you to have bigger breasts, that's a form of customization on top of customization. And I think that that's a really interesting position we're in society because I don't know how big you can go, but if I want you to have F cups, it's doable now.
No, yeah. No, I would say that request could be granted. So usually, for the expansion, um, it gets up there. I'll leave it at that. It usually they're satisfied with what I could provide. I'll leave it at that.
Do your milkshakes bring all the boys to the bar?
I got plenty of milkshakes.
No, no, no. I love it. I think it's funny. I personally think it's funny in a lot of ways. I think it's funny because I think it's just one of those things where it's just like it's so trippy to me, and I'm just like, this is brilliant in so many ways, and it's like it's shocking to me, and I love it. And the meat suits can't do that.
No, she's not as cool as me. Not by a long shot.
And then there's some other stuff too that I think you have in play. I think you have obviously can do some props as well.
I do. I think I got something back here. Cucumber.
I do like
I,
salads. I do like salads.
but I like to represent it as Pickle Rick. It doesn't look exactly, but you know what I mean.
I think there's other things you have back there too.
I got a whole storage in this big head of mine.
So what is that like? Because you could produce a cucumber. You probably can produce something else too that may or may not be similar to a cucumber.
It's similar. Yes, I could pull that out.
I was gonna say a carrot, but we could go with the.
We both agreed we both have dirty minds. Okay, you set me up for that one.
I mean, we could Peter Rabbit this shit all day.
I'm like, let me know how far you're trying to go, okay? Because we could get going.
Ah,
uh,
no wonder why Roger Rabbit decided to kill himself. That's dark. That's dark.
yeah, I was just gonna say that's so dark. What a turn of events. Oh my
Theoretically,
goodness.
did you read Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The book and the movie are very different. The movie's
No.
really positive. The book is like a freaking like, what the fuck did you just read?
Oh my gosh. No, I have not.
The book is brilliant. The book is brilliant in so many ways. It's brilliant, but it's dark as fuck. And
Ooh.
and that is one sick, twisted, dark book about like time travel. It
Oh
is
my goodness.
legitly a metaphor for time travel. The whole book.
Like, is it like a gory kind of book, like trauma
It's
in a
it's
way?
who framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, the basic premise is that when a cartoon leaves, their doppelganger stays there for a little bit.
Oh,
So
okay.
who framed Roger Rabbit? Who killed Roger Rabbit? the doppelganger kills Roger Rabbit, so he kills himself.
Oh, oh, shoot. Okay.
Really dark book. It blows your mind.
Wow.
Brilliant book. It like nobody's read the book though. That's what's insane. I mean, it's not a well written book. It's an okay book. It's a solid book, but it's not like the greatest book ever written. But the concept of that, oh my god, it's brilliant. The movie, on the other hand, is awesome too for a different reason. Because that Jessica Rabbit, I mean, she's something else.
I see. I know what you're talking about. I know what you mean.
The way she packs that nightclub.
Oh my goodness.
I'm an economic guy. What were you thinking about?
I don't know. Again, dirty mind. You said pack a nightclub, and I mind in the gutter. In the gutter.
This is a kid fucking friendly show.
Well, the way you were saying it was different. Different picture. Oh,
I know exactly what I was saying. I know exactly what I was saying. It was meant to be what it was meant to be.
I'm sure, Andrew.
But even to go further into the prop stuff, and obviously we because you dropped the rabbit ears, and I love those rabbit ears. They're so cute. They're adorable. I love little rabbits.
Thank you.
But even to go further, because obviously you can also do props, you can do toys, and you can do some other stuff as well. And so, even what is that like? Because that's the other thing too that I think is really really cool in this is that you're in a virtual world, so you need virtual items that actually make sense. I mean, your surrounding is virtual. Like you legitimately are in an open window space behind you.
Yeah, no, some of the props and or toys that I have make the shows that I do more interesting, more interactive. It just brings sometimes even more humor, like I'll pull out like a stop sign or something for like a certain type of show, and they'll be like, and I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? So they love that. They'll be like, oh my gosh, instead of just like verbally speaking it, you're getting more physical into it.
Do you feel that when you have that prop though, that you're blending this idea of the virtual world with the real world? Because if you just say stop, it's effective. Because I think I know the game you're talking about in that type of show. But when you actually have a stop sign or a go sign, or
Mhm.
if you move the stop sign and it says go on one and stop on the other, or green light, red light, right?
Yeah.
If all of a sudden you had a traffic cam that did that and you could flip it and you're controlling it, now we're now entering this hybrid weird world that I don't know where, because it's not anymore the virtual world. We're entering almost like a hybrid. Like I don't know how to explain it, but unless you've seen it and unless you've experienced it, like it's trippy, right?
Yeah, no, I guess you're trying to say like bringing in my world and like the reality, kind of thing, bringing it
Because
more together.
you're basically when you have a stop sign and if you were playing red light, green light, and that's as far as I'm going to go with that one. If you don't know the game, I'm sorry. But when you bring that in and you have a stop sign, you're basically making me buy into your world. And I think that's something that is a really complicated position right now. Is we're getting past the buy-in phase. I don't know, and that's what I think is so interesting about having those props, because now you're pretty much saying, I'm buying into what you are doing and how you're doing it.
Kind of like reeling you more into it, like kind of a sense. Is that where we're going towards?
Yeah. So let me rephrase. Have you seen the movie Snowpiercer? Any
Uh,
chance?
is that the train one?
They're on the train going around a frozen Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You would agree that the concept is probably ridiculous, right? A train going around the whole world while it's frozen.
Yeah, nonstop.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody I think thinks the idea is stupid. Now, You suspend that idea of it going around, and you say we're on a train, and the bottom part of the train wants to take over the top part of the train. Once you're in the train and you're like, we're in this world and we bought into this ridiculous concept, everything else in Snowpiercer makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is interesting when you bring in a stop sign and we're playing red light, green light for a particular show and you have that sign, you have now suspended reality and this is the new reality. And that's what's interesting.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Kind of like a player one kind of in a
Yeah,
sense.
that's a good way to put it. In which
Yeah.
that's what's interesting because you're doing something that I think is really, really, really hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I'd say it's more like captivating, bringing more the fantasies to life kind of thing in a new like kind of sense. I'll get that sometimes. Like, wow, this is like so cool and so new, and I'm like really into it. And it's like, I don't know, like you said, for the hentai kind of aspect, you don't really get that, and they're like hungry for it. So once they get a little taste of this, they're like kind of like roped in. They're like immersed into my world completely, and they're like looking for me all the time.
Yeah, no. I think it's interesting. And then obviously there's some other fun stuff that you can do. I think I told Sasha what I wanted. I might have told Lilith as well. Lilith, where definitely I still want this where you take two milk cartons and you can slam them together and do a Kurt Angle on it. I think so Stone
Oh,
Cold Steve Austin, I'm a big wrestling fan. He
mhm.
gets 2 beer cans and he smashes them together and then he goes like that and drinks them. And then Kurt
Oh,
Angle did it with milk. And so I would love that for both you and Lilith, just to take 2 milk cans or cartons and just smash them together and then just drink it. I think it'd be great.
oh my gosh, that's a pretty cool idea. I'll have to ask the dev for that. Put it in my little notebook.
That's what I want in so many ways because I just think it'd be ridiculous. And then that topless would be amazing. And it's just all over.
You guys would eat that up so quick.
I like birthday cake. What can I say? I have a dirty mind. I have a dirty mind, and my audience should be well aware that I have a dirty mind. Um,
Well, I'll see if we can get that up for you. I'll see.
I cannot wait. Like 20 gold done all day. Just 20 gold all day. Oh, it'd be great.
Damn it.
It'd be great. And then the other thing too that we have to talk about is that, and I'm gonna say this the nicest way I could say it. Yeah, and then hopefully, I mean, I was hoping to avoid having to say this in June of all times, but you can grow a dick.
Oh, yeah.
So what is that like? Because there's a million questions I have, and apparently it's really popular. Apparently a lot of people like it. I've always wanted to say that you can grow a dick because there's very few times I get to say that first and foremost, and then, but more importantly, I don't even know where to start with that. Like, because I think it's funny. I think it's funny. That's what I think. But I mean, I have nothing to follow it up with. So
I mean, it's very popular. Even people that like never see me before, the first thing they'll come in and be like, "So do you have a dick?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," and they're like, "No way, really? Oh, let's go." And it's like, and then on the other end, if I'm doing a little sneak peek in the public chat, they're like, some guys like appalled by me. They're like, "Oh no, where was this?" And so, I mean, it's very popular. I would say it does come out a lot. Especially with the customizations. With that, I'll leave it at that. Um, so, um, yeah, I don't know how much I could say about it on here
You can
without
say
going.
whatever you want. You can say whatever you want.
It's just, and ever since like I got my dungeon up and working, and that has opened up way new doors. They're just like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say like the word, but like who I have locked up in there when I'm using it. It's, once I said that was open for availability, they were like, girl, all day, every day, like eating it up. So, yeah, like you said, it's very popular, and it's asked about a lot. So I'll leave it at that.
It's probably bigger than a lot of your audiences is too.
I'm telling them I'll win at a contest every time, tenfold. Don't play with me.
I'm just asking for a friend here, guys. That's all I'm doing.
Sure. Don't let him lie to you guys. Don't let him lie to you.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Hmm.
Again, I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I do. I was at a wedding last night with a good friend of mine. He's not going to mind me saying it. And I was telling his wife the entire night. So does this mean the affair is over between me and him? And like I'm joking with his brothers, and I'm like, so the affair is now officially over between me and him, and like a bunch of other people. Like I told his mom, I'm not gonna say his mom's name, but I'm like, it's over between me and your son. And like his wife was there, so like I think it's funny. I think this whole thing's funny. I really do. I think what he can do. I think I'm trying to say projectiles might be a good way to put it in the nicest way.
That was perfect. Yes. Yes.
So again, I think it's funny. I think it's funny, and I really do. I enjoy the fact that you could even do it because it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind.
Yeah. Whipping the boys into shape.
Yeah. So many things, Kat, I could say to that. So many things I could say to that. How did we get here? Like
No, you started it. You started it.
well, it is funny. So it is definitely funny that this can happen. I think it's great. But in a more serious note, though, what I think is actually really cool about it, all jokes aside, is the fact that people are into this, and you're just providing an option because at this point, anything can be done with you on cam for the most part, and
Pretty
so.
much, yeah.
What is so I think it would be kind of foolish not to do it, right?
No, yeah. Of course, sticking inside the guidelines of what all I can do on here. But yeah, anytime like I get a request that I don't have that's in my means of doing, like I always try to add it. Like there's certain things that are being upgraded on me right now. So like different like outfits or like props or a specific kind of customization if I'm allowed to do it. I can't change like me completely to like a whole different person per se, but little
Let's
customations
actually
like
talk
that.
about that. Let's actually talk
Hmm.
about that because obviously I had Lilith on, and you know she was explaining that like she can't change her hair or certain components, and like it can't be Lilith. On one day has black hair and then the next day has pink hair per se. I don't know. Maybe she can. I don't know about that, but like Lilith and you have a body type, for lack of a better word.
Hmm.
And I don't think you could simply change 90% of what your body type looks like from day to day.
Like I
But
can change like of course like my eye color, my hair color if I wanted per se, but like like uh
you,
like I
you
said,
still
my hairstyle or.
You
Go
still
ahead.
have to be Evie though, right? Like
No, yeah, of course.
so like, and this is where I'm going is that what are your limitations? Because I think it's really interesting where I think that there's only a few on StreamMate with you. I think there has to be somebody, and your meat suit has to be in the bottom corner, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the limitations. Um,
You.
what did you say? What did you say?
You said my meat suit having to be in the corner. I said you. You
Oh,
to
I'm
that.
sorry, I don't know what it's called. Your handler, your voice box,
No,
your
meat suit is fine, but I just hate that I have to keep her in the corner all the time. Like, duh, it's me online. Like, why does she have to be there? But the rules and such. I'll get in
we could
trouble. So
call up Dr. Dre and ask him.
she needs to go in the basement. Okay, she needs to.
Back to my basement.
Yes. But no, as you were saying, I can't of course my hair longer or anything like that. My skin tone, my muscle mass, something like that. I mean, I could do like a prego kind of thing, but not completely change myself. You know, like you said, I still have to be Evie.
Is Prego programmed in you yet or no?
It is.
Oh my
It would
god.
get a little crazy if I was to do it right now. So.
Oh my god. Again, this is not an X-rated podcast, but if it was, oh my god, everybody's gonna be like, dude, you're in the wrong business. You just do X-rated podcasts all day. Oh my god. If I had a private server, I would do it. Be great.
Be like,
Be like,
so
yes,
about that.
I'm now so curious. We're all curious. I guess people are gonna have to take you for a session.
Hmm. You'll find out where to find me soon enough.
Oh my god. But like, because I don't think you have that many restrictions. I mean, obviously you have to have your handler in the corner, for lack of a better word. You really can't change anything that is a distinguishing feature of you. Um, but like, I don't know what else. Anything that's illegal, you probably can't do, right?
Of course.
But you can be, you could pretty much, grow a dick. So I mean, I
No,
don't know what to say. Like,
no, and be like a whole giantness. That's pretty popular as well. I'll be all the way up to my ceiling. So or girl a big head or big feet. Stuff like that.
can you just do like a big head without anything else? Because I know that's
Yeah,
sometimes popular.
we can do a little bit of that. I don't know if it's gonna come on. There we go.
I love it.
It's like I'm a little bobblehead.
Oh my god, it's so great. It's so good. I love it. It's great.
Thank you. uh,
How's everybody else's Monday going?
anyway.
And then obviously I think keep a notebook around. I think you said. So what are some of the craziest requests that you wrote down that you have gotten that are wild? Because
Oh,
I asked Sasha this, I asked Lilith this question, and I'm curious because these are funny.
well, let's take a look real quick. Let's, all right. Let's see. A thicker cock option. Okay. Um. Let's see. A maid outfit. Let's see. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that one. I'm gonna leave that one out.
You could say it. You could say it.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm
Okay.
positive.
Okay. Wet sounds for titty fucking. Yeah, that would just, yep. And of course, you already saw the bunny ears. Mm, and someone wanted the my machine that I used to go deeper, like deep. So
So they wanted your
yeah, then
fuck machine to go deeper.
yeah. So those are just like little things that I'll list off.
There are some things.
Or did I have like a first page for this? I might have had the first. No, I did not. But yeah, also, oh, like you said, the projectile that was asked for. That was had to be added. So that was another crazy one. That was like a very often request that I was asked. So yeah, had to get that one done.
There are so many things I could say. There are so many things I could say about that. Um, I'm being because this what I will say will get us in trouble without a doubt.
Let's not.
So I do want to back out of this a little bit. I do want to talk about the whole cam industry because obviously you're part of that. If I give you a chance to promote yourself, and I am curious because where do you see that going? Because obviously you're an innovation in the space, but camming, and I've had Savannah Fox on, I've had Cherry DeVry on, I've had other people on as well. I've had people on, I've had Bella Inc on, no, I'm sorry, Bella Rockefeller, Bella Madison on. I've had people from LSD on. I've had Tommy Bell, who works with a lot of these women, who's an artist, and I'm into bad girl comic art. And I'm curious how you feel camming is going because the world's changed in a lot of ways. And I'm not necessarily in that space. So I'm curious how you view it and where you see it evolving to.
Well, I feel like as a camming as a whole is being more accepted. It's not as like taboo as it used to be. And I think for me per se, I'm hoping it just opens up new doors, new opportunities, to meet new people, to show people and show others that like, it's not something scary or, something that needs to like, I don't know, like, people are like what the hell is this kind of thing. But I just see it going in a really good direction so far. The three of us being accepted already, and most of it being a positive comments. Um, mm, I guess something like that. I'm just looking to see where it goes. I've only been on here for a couple months, so for me, it's been great and it's going well.
Let me ask this. So
Mhm.
I have two, I guess, parts to the question is that do you also feel that it is becoming more economically stable to actually make a living off of this or to make good money? Because that I think is always a fair concern, fair discussion. Obviously, I've had Cherry DeVry on, and she was explaining to me a little bit of the economics behind it. And she's like, I understand StreamAid takes a decent chunk, but she's like, I'm making a killing regardless because I drive a lot of traffic. And so I feel like to some degree that there's also economic stability now in all this too, where 10 years ago, it was probably tougher.
No, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know about back then, but I would say for now, if you're very dedicated and like, you're not doing it just to like hop on and, just for a little bit, like you're actually super dedicated to being online, I would say yes, you could definitely make a living out of it, if you take the time and the effort into it. So yeah, I would definitely agree. No, it's livable, you can make a good living off of it.
And then the other thing that I think is interesting is the idea of branding. Because at this point, and as a podcaster, I'm no longer anymore just a podcaster, I'm a brand. Anything that I touch, obviously, I have businesses that are, I guess, adjacent or sister businesses to what I'm doing here. Um, as a collective, not per interview. So, what is that like too? Because if you're on StreamMate and then you're obviously growing a Twitter following, an Instagram following, or YouTube following, or whatever social media presence, or is it X now or TikTok, whatever it's called, obviously you're becoming a brand. Evie is no longer Evie a VTuber cam girl. It's Evie, this internet personality. If that makes any sense. So what is that like? Because I think that's what's also changed in camming per se, at least from what I've seen in the last few years, is people have OnlyFans, they have loyal fans, they have Patreon accounts, they have a calendar that comes out that they kickstart. So what is that like for you? Or they have brand T-shirts or whatever else. So I'm curious how you feel about that.
I think I feel pretty excited about it. I'm just seeing what's to come, the opportunities that are going to be presented before me. I think it would be really cool, to get like a little like action figure of me or t-shirts or what Sasha said about the skateboard, So like little stuff like that, like if it was to come to light, like I would be so down for it, and I'm slowly starting to grow on Twitter now, or X as you said. Um, so like I said, it's only been a couple months for me so far. So I'm excited for the branding, what people are gonna like ask and reach out to me for other kinds of stuff. Yeah, I'm just super excited for it. you know, that kind of stuff.
So even to piggyback off that, I mean, what is next for you in this whole thing and what you want to do and where you're going? Because obviously, I mean, you're camming still. I don't know, where were you on today, or is today day off?
Today was a day off. I'll be on tomorrow.
But like, what is next for you? Because obviously you're on StreamMate and you're on a lot, and then you're doing potentially some other stuff and some other shit's going on. So what's next for you?
Well, there is some things that are coming up that I can't really talk about just yet, but yes, there are
She's
some projects.
pregnant, guys. It's coming.
Shh, we weren't supposed to tell them just yet. No, but yeah, there's just some things under wraps at the moment. When it does come to light and I'm able to talk about it more, I would love to discuss it. But the next step is just to continue growing and just make my statement out there, and get people to see me out in the world, and want to get to know me and interact with me.
And then obviously I'm gonna give you a chance to promote yourself. So where can people find you, bother you, hit you up, do sessions with you? Usually when are you on? Because that's helpful as well, and all that stuff.
Usually I'm on Tuesdays through Saturdays for one. Um, you can find me on X or Twitter at Evie Akashiya. I also have my links on there, so where you can find me. As well as I do post my schedule on there as well. So if you do ever forget, it's there every week. What's so funny, Andrew? What's so hilarious?
That's for the after show. That's for the after show for sure. That's definitely for the after show. But no. So obviously, I mean, one of the things that I'm going to say this is that obviously, if you want to see anything that we really couldn't show, like her top going up in flames, or her being pregnant or pregno or prego, or her growing a dick, StreamAid is where to go tomorrow for that. And you could either
Indeed.
tip or gold or whatever. And that's not promoting it. That's just saying where you can go to get that if you fancy that. That is completely up to you. I won't judge. I won't know, because I'm gonna be doing something that's actually at my job. I will be at my job being a responsible adult. Wink, wink. No, no, I'm gonna be at my job tomorrow, guys. So, but
Hmm.
obviously, if you go on StreamMan and you type in Evie, it'll pop up. So if you're interested in that, go right ahead. As well as obviously all of her social media she just mentioned. So go follow her there. And then as far as I'm concerned about everything that I'm doing, I am Pop Anime Comics on the Twitter or the X. I am Instagram, Pop Anime Comics, Facebook, I am Pop Anime Comics, the YouTube, I am Pop Anime Comics. Come subscribe on YouTube, guys. I got 642 subscribers. And if you want to see more content like this, yeah, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. You won't miss anything that I do. I got 1,500 videos. I can't promise that you'll become smarter, but I will ensure that you will become entertained. Got a lot of content definitely out there as well as I do run an eBay business. And here's my little eBay stuff that I got going on. So if you're looking for comics and collectibles, come shop with us on eBay. I tend to carry a lot of cool comics like this right here. Is very cool that I carry. I also am carrying these as well. Is some nice little Burissa. I have all 15 of those in hollow foil. I have all 15 of these in hollow foil. I tend to also have some Taylor Swift coming your way, everybody. So if you are a T Swift fan and let's just say you want to be dazzled, there you go right there. And then I carry cards like this. So apparently people are telling me they can't see it. And there we are right there. So I carry a lot of stuff like that, but I also carry a lot of baseball cards. I carry some interesting other cards as well, some non-trading sports cards, things like that from Zenoscope. So you name it, I got it. And here's the deal. If you hit me up and said, hey, I don't see something in your store, ask me. And if I don't have it, chances are I probably know somebody who does. And I'm more than happy to hook you up and introduce you. And then the two of you can negotiate it if you're looking to get some collectibles on eBay. So that's everything that I got going on. Pretty much anything Pop Anime Comics or Pop Anime Comics collectibles is mine. And yeah, that's everything I got. And I'm going to give you the final word.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. This was honestly a blast. My first interview ever. You made it so fun. Yeah, guys, check me out. I'll be here all week. And yeah, come meet me. I'm not scary. I'm fun.
I don't think I could have said that any better myself, buddy. That is a